Austroraptor has made it to Jurassic World Evolution 3. This is actually quite funny because I guessed last video that a new dinosaur in the pack would be Austroraptor. And yes, Frontier is in our walls, they're in our ceilings, they are hiding everywhere. They do listen. FYI, Frontier announced the Wetlands pack, and last video we dove into the Irritator. Now we're doing the same, but for the Austroraptor. Onto the Austroraptor now. Like the Irritator, we're gonna have this on loop since if I were to use videos, it would be copyright. For the sexual dimorphism of the Austroraptor, the male has a cooler pattern and has a crest on its head and a tiny bib on its neck, which is quite funny. The baby is very adorable though. After watching some of the creators' videos, I have two things to say about the Austroraptor. The first thing is I can't clarify whether it can swim or not. Now, Austroraptor did swim and hunt fish, but I cannot clarify if it can swim, sorry. But I can clarify that the Austroraptor does have a diet of fish. The second thing is that at the time of recording, the third species has been revealed. Now, it's something none of us expected and none of us really wanted. I will make a video on that soon, but here were my predictions on what the third species will be. Reminder, I went with species who have something related with wetlands and some who fit the vibe. First up is the returning Camarasaurus. Now, I did mention this in last video, so nothing really much to say about it. There is another returning species, however, the rest are new species. Second and final returning species I picked was the Nothosaurus. This is a little interesting one I picked. What I imagined was Nothosaurus is no longer part of the lagoons. In my opinion, it would be a regular land animal like most of the dinosaurs. However, it would spend most of its time in deep water, which it deserves the ability to swim like how it was in Camp Cretaceous. First of the new species, I went with Hadrosaurus. This dinosaur does fit the wetland vibe, and on the picture I have, looks like a sail on the back, similar to what the Tyrannosaurus has. Now, some of you may disagree with this and another hadrosaur since we do have many hadrosaurs in the game. However, with its distinct sail is what I would say. In my opinion, Hadrosaurus does give a decent variety to the other hadrosaurs. Onto a more famous dinosaur, the Brontosaurus. Now, as I said for Camarasaurus last video, sorry, I'm just losing my words. We already have a few large, medium-ish sauropods, if you know what I mean. Apatosaurus is one, for example. Well, if Frontier was gonna add Bronto in the game, I would assume they would make it much larger, so it wasn't like Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, and Camarasaurus eventually when it gets added. Brontosaurus are more famous as how it is famous. I bet when we were all kids, instead of saying like Brachiosaurus or whatever, we would say Brontosaurus. Anyway, a fan favorite and quite a popular one, if you know what I mean, and I do think it should be in the game. Before getting into what we all wanted, we're gonna go into the other hadrosaur I mentioned during Hadrosaurus, the Lambeosaurus. Now, this gives real good wetland vibes for me. I don't know about you, but it also looks like it has a sail like Oranosaurus in Camp Cretaceous. Lambeosaurus, with its crest shape, like many other hadrosaurs, it does give variety with the crest. It looks very interesting. The Centausaurus, the Parasaurolophus, Coryphosaurus, all those have different head crests, and Lambeo, it does give a different crest than what we've been receiving with other hadrosaurs, and it's really cool. Now, onto what we all want when we hear a wetland DLC. The Sarcosuchus. Now, out of this and Dinosuchus, I picked Sarcosuchus because it's my favorite. Whichever gets added, I will be fine. Sarcosuchus, like what I said with Nothosaurus, should be not for the lagoons, but part of a like sorry, I lost my train of thought. A semi-aquatic where it spends less time on the land and more time on the water. Like it's new, and Francie can definitely do it. This is what we all want, I bet. However, what we got, not so much. I will be doing a video on that soon, but from now on, before, out of all the three dinosaurs which were revealed, game-wise, so the Irritator, the Austroraptor, and the one we will uncover eventually, which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you another day. Bye, guys!